Hello, everyone. It is me, Hoshi, and I'm here with Bear and Milan. And before I we start this podcast, we will be talking about the cult of Mother God, and we would like to say that in no way, shape, or form, when we're talking about this, are we telling you to like go to these people and hate, except for one person. But we're gonna get into that. But do not go and look for these people and try to like hate on them and stuff. If you just want to look them up and see what they're doing, stuff like that, that's fine. But do not go spreading negativity and do not go and try to join the damn cult. Don't
Facts.
don't
There's
don't join
better
the
things
cult
to
at
do with your
all.
time.
Right. Now
Facts.
when we're talking about this cult, it might seem like your type of stuff, but it's not. It's not. The people's crazy. So basically, um we got into some cult documentaries because I've never watched them before. Like I know of cults, but I've never watched anything about them. When I was a psychology major, we talked about them a little bit, but it was never a focus of interest for me. But I was like, I have HBO, and I remember when people were talking about this cult and the documentary on TikTok because um the cult kind of infiltrated TikTok for a little bit in 2020 and 2021. So I was like, I want to watch about it. A lot of people on TikTok were talking about it, and I never got to watch it. So we did, and then we decided as we were watching it and the opinions that we had, um, we were gonna make a whole thing about it, and hopefully y'all find it very interesting. So the cult leader was Amy, and she, as I believe, was in her 30s when this first started.
Hmm.
Um, and her, I guess, right hand man was Miguel. So before Miguel even entered the picture, her mother and her sister claimed that after getting, at basically climbing the corporate ladder at McDonald's, I don't know if y'all know this, but in the 1980s, even my mom said this, working in fast food was like a big deal. It was like everyone wanted to do this. You should do this. This is how you're going to make a lot of money. And it was very easy to climb like the ladder. Like my mom wanted to, she could have been like way high up in like Popeyes or McDonald's or something. Like that's how it was. She became like district manager or something even higher, and she was making a lot of money. But um, what we're gonna get into later is they claim that she changed. She started to look into spirituality, getting more spiritual, and they thought it was kind of weird. But they was like people change stuff all the time. She wasn't doing anything that was concerning. And as she started to get more spiritual, she started looking into angels, and she went on this website called Lightwork, which I guess back in the day was a very popular website for people who were spiritual and hippies, and they would talk and explain their theories and stuff like that. Where she met this older guy, White Eagle. He was like in his 60s, but they met up together in California. Um, and they started a romantic relationship, and then eventually White Eagle and Amy went to Sempedigo, I think, Colorado, where everything kind of began. Now, if you don't know, this part of southern Colorado is known to be very spiritual. Um, a lot of people who have lived there their whole lives have said that it seems to be more like a veil where people just kind of disappear and reappear and stuff like that. Um, And then eventually down the line, White Eagle kind of talks about how they would just talk about ascension and they would do drugs. They were doing shrooms and they would just get high off of shrooms and talk. And eventually, White Eagle suggested to her, like, hey, why don't you make your own website and talk and get your feelings and stuff out there? White Eagle was really more of a mentor. um, they were kind of like friends with benefits to me. He was
Mentor,
very chill.
lover.
Yeah, he was just there for the beginning. Um, and the website was called the Galactic Free Press. Um, Um, she said he was like Mother God, which she started calling herself, wanted to share her world's beliefs and ascension. And then before she got the name Mother God, White Eagle was like, "Oh, why don't we just name ourselves Mother and Father God?" But White Eagle's view of like Mother and Father God was completely different than what Amy was taking it as. He was like, "Oh, this is just our names, we're
Mm-hmm.
just teaching." But Amy started to believe that she was Mother God. And then
Mhm.
he says as soon as she got into the role, she started to actually think that she was a Mother God. And then her online presence became known. Um, she said Mother God believed she could heal the world and sickness through love. And the more videos she spread, the more love she spread to people of the internet, and the more people watched her videos, that was the more people she healed. And she was like, it's kind of like, when you watch someone's videos and it touches your heart and stuff, that's like her energy out there, and that's what she wanted to do. And through this, she met Miguel, who she later named um, Mike Angel. And Miguel found her on one of her lives, and he believed that Mother God um, cured his cancer. And then eventually Miguel reached out to her. I'm going to call him Miguel, but I'll just be referring to Amy as Mother God because she's finally like she thinks she's God at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they met up and they moved to California. She completely left White Eagle, by the way. Like this man is like officially out the picture.
Mhm.
Like that relationship was done. She even when she ends up going back to Colorado, she never met up with him ever again. Like that was it. And White Eagle seemed to not take that to heart. This is a very spiritual man. He's just like whatever. And then he did say that as soon as she left to go be with Miguel, her online presence skyrocketed. He's like he feels like in a way he was like kind of suppressing like that type of energy because as soon as she left his energy field, that's when people started to clamp onto him. And then, so White Eagle was the first father god.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she met up with Miguel and they moved to California, Miguel ends up being like the tech guy and the financial guy. So any financials was all going to him. It was in his name, and Amy just trusted him, which seems to be pretty late. And then we meet this young guy named Andrew. He didn't have a special name. He was just a pretty face. He was a young guy, and he was getting really into like the occult stuff, conspiracy theories, and he found her. And Andrew said that because of what he was going through, he says he spent um, days having dreams about Amy or Mother God, and then eventually he connected with Mother God and telling him, and Amy was like, I've been having the same thing, and the angels have been telling me that you need to come join the team. And then because she found him attractive, he became the next father god.
Mhm.
And then Andrew says that when he got to their camp in California, he revealed that they did nothing but drugs, starting with shrooms. And he was saying they were taking way more shrooms than what a human should take. He said that when he got there, her and Miguel were already on like day two of just shrooms. Like, that's
That's
how much
it's
They
shrooms
were
they
crazy.
tasting
consume.
colors at that point.
Yeah. So, we kinda get from here that, Andrew says as well that she, Mother God is a very sexually charged person and very lazy. So, when I heard that, honestly, I was like, "Oh, so every father god that's gonna happen, it's just gonna be someone she is attracted to."
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so as of right now, it's literally just nothing but sex and drugs. Um, Also, they're not making any money. Miguel quit his job. Mother God doesn't have a job, and because Andrew was young and he quit his job, Andrew was making $700 in unemployment. I don't know if that was a week or like every 2 weeks, whatever the pay period is in California. And that they were taking all of that money and putting it into Miguel's account, and they were using it for like drugs and taking care of the house. Andrew was also, I guess he went to college for marketing. So when he was helping them, the website had changed to another name. I didn't write it down, but it was a longer name. And he was like, why don't we just change it to Love Has Won to help it
Yeah.
be more, yeah. He said this will be more appealing. It'll stick with people. It's a very meaningful message. And apparently that's what Amy like was trying to put out there, since her whole thing was spreading her love and knowledge for people was helping them. And then um once that changed, they popped off and they started making a lot of money. Like the whole premise was donations, kind of like monks where they don't have anything unless you give it to them. They were making a lot of money. People were donating um anywhere between $500 to $7,000 to them when they first popped off. So they were making a lot of money. They were never poor. So when you're like watching this documentary and you're like, how are they doing this? It's because they were getting thousands of dollars of donations and they were doing the lives.
Yeah.
Um, so then this is still episode one, by the way. We haven't even made it to episode two. And then Andrew reveals that she is a severe alcoholic and drinks until she passes out every night. He also says that he tried to help her get out of this delusion that she's God, and sometimes she would come into this moment of clarity, and then Miguel would step in and be like, "No, you are Mother God. Like don't let him like take you away from your purpose." And eventually Miguel and Mother God are like, if you can't keep your mouth closed and trying to stop Mother God from doing her her journey, then you need to leave. So he leaves. And that was episode one. So that's basically the introduction of like the cult. Um, any thoughts?
They
I
seemed
feel like,
like a very normal cult. Like a normal
yeah,
hippie group at first of just drugs and sex and living free, which I
yeah, which
think
is
anyone would be
essentially
attracted to.
Yeah.
right. Nobody knew that they were doing drugs online. They just liked the message, but anyone could guess that they're in Colorado. They're doing drugs. Also, if you guys did not know, Colorado is one of the best places to go to rehab for drugs.
I wonder
Ironically.
why.
It's very very full circle. Apparently the facilities are really nice and they treat you really well. So, yeah.
Get high and
So
go
we're
try
moving on to
it.
episode 2. No, don't don't do drugs. They started getting extreme with the drugs later in. We'll talk about that later. Um, as you know, you just never do one drug when you're in this type of cult.
Mhm.
Um, so episode 2, this is when we start getting the core people. So I'll talk about these people and then talk a little bit about their background, and if y'all remember anything, um, y'all just add in. So Milana also put the pictures up. So we have Faith joins, and Faith, um, she was one of the people who joined, and she did not have a bad life per se. Like nothing happened. Um, she I think was upper class, and then her family hits a recession, and then she becomes like middle class. Like she basically drops a class. So she was used to all this high life, high living, buying whatever she wants. And, once you go from being rich to being to a whole lower class, I guess to you that could be traumatic. Your
Mhm.
parents lose most of their money and stuff like that. So to her, that was traumatic. And then we have Hope. The way Hope, Faith joins through live, she ends up talking to um, Mother God, and Mother God tells her to come out, and she believes her, and she comes out and she starts helping out with healing sessions. And then Hope ends up booking a healing session with Faith and is convinced to come out. And then Aurora joins shortly after, um, from a session as well, both admitting that they had nothing bad happening in their life and was basically bored. Aurora, I think, also grows up rich as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get Elmora, which is a guy. He's renamed as, I think, Buddha. No, that's something. Elmora is an older guy, and Mary, who's another senior citizen. And the reason why both of them join is
Senior
Elmora,
citizen.
they were older. Mary was like grandma age. So Elmora joins because he's lost because his father actually had surgery and got addicted to Oxycontin, and he dies because of his addiction. And then Mary husband divorces her after like 20 years, and she's basically lost, you know. Erin joins. I don't know what's wrong with Erin. I don't remember, but I know she joins and she brings her kids with her.
Interesting.
Um, Buddha
Isn't she
joins. Buddha
poor or
has
something?
nothing.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it's like three kids.
Yeah.
And Buddha joins as well. Buddha didn't really have a story. I think he just felt connected with the message, and he was like he wants to be a part of that. And then he says this is the main crew basically, and all they do is party, do drugs, and drinks. And apparently, according to Mother God, drugs and alcohol are used as tools and medicine. And then this is the first compound. They are still in California. And then what we get a little bit after that is y'all will probably remember Hope is the one that's the brunette with the curly
Mm-hmm.
hair. You saw her. And she said Hope wants to be on a higher level. So she basically becomes a maid and cleans the house and all that stuff. That's how she started. And then something happens and people are visiting the compound, and Mother God points to Hope and it's like, this girl is amazing. She cleans my house. But Hope wants more. Hope wants to be in the main team. So then she starts like just taking care of Mother God by like brushing her hair, rubbing her feet and stuff. And then within this same time, John joins. And then John was appointed to Father God because remember we don't have another Father God after Andrew leaves. So John says that when he joined, he felt like he had a real connection with Mother God, and he really enjoyed her presence and stuff. And I guess um, Mother God felt the same way, and he's appointed to Father God, um, which was kind of crazy. So as you can see, again, it's another guy that she finds attractive that she's appointing to Father God, and then eventually.
Patterns.
Exactly, which it makes me think like when she has sex, are they just nobody ever
Right, are they
talked
all
about if
just
they were
there?
yeah,
Are they all jealous? What's happening? What's the tea?
Serious. Imagine.
yeah.
I got a picture, mate.
Because mind you, kids are still here, so I'm just hoping they keep it private.
Facts.
But I don't
I
know
doubt
because
it if they're all high and drunk.
yeah. I think they kind of do it private because in the beginning well, in the beginning it was only three of them. It was her, Michael, and Andrew, and Michael wasn't in there. But I don't know because there's a lot of people here. Kids are here. Apparently, Faith sleeps on the floor in the room. So I don't know. They probably didn't want to say that they were having some type of orgy because kids were there. But then apparently during the day, even though they were high, she puts everyone to work. Everybody's doing something. And then eventually, I think Elmora suggests that we should be like doing stuff to make more money because none of them have a job. So everyone is either like on live, working with the website, and Elmora is like, we should be selling merchant stuff. So eventually they start selling stuff like soaps, shampoos, like Aura Mist and stuff. But the most important thing, they were making and selling colloidal silver,
Mm-hmm.
which is literally just melted down silver and water. And this is where it all goes wrong. Everyone's vibing, mind you, everyone's vibing. Everyone has a good time. They're spreading their like love and energy to everyone. Also on the side of doing their um stuff. Oh, I forgot to mention, we can talk about this. Milan, pop it up there. One of the big things about um Mother God is that she has different altars or different beings that comes through her, which is just different dead celebrities. And they're kind of interesting, and the only reason it's important is because this does pop up many times, specifically like when she's feeling a certain emotion that isn't loving, I guess. So her biggest one is what is this man's name again?
Robin Williams.
Her main one is Robin Williams
I don't remember
and
the other guy.
some type of king. She also has Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston. She has
Kobe
Trump.
Bryant.
She has Tupac. She has Trump, even though he's like still alive. I don't know how he's
Unfortunately.
spiritually coming through her. Hitler's also in there. Like these are all
Wild.
spirits that, yeah, these are all spirits, a part of her cosmic
Mr.
team.
Rogers is on there. I'm just seeing that. Sorry. I don't think he'd be a part of a group.
What's it?
She calls them the Galactics, basically. And these are spirits who are a part of God's plan, and they come down and they talk to her and tell her what her mission is and stuff like that. It's not really talked about too much until like this ending of the second episode. Honestly, they don't pop up as much until the end. And they only pop up when it's like only Robin Williams pops up
Is that
because
Bob
apparently,
Marley?
Yep.
yeah, all of them are in there. It's kind of crazy because as we know, Robin Williams, may his soul rest in peace.
And
He
Aretha.
was a
Prince
severe
is in there
alcoholic.
too.
And Franklin.
Whitney
They're
Houston.
all in there. As we know, Robin Williams
Crazy.
passed away from alcoholism and suicide, and it's kind of weird that that would be her right hand man, but it's also telling.
Hmm.
You know, these are just honestly, it feels like these are just random historical figures that she either think is interesting or she finds some type of comfort in.
Betty White.
Um, it's insane.
I'm gonna
Like
take
I
a
said, the
picture.
picture will be popped up.
Yeah.
So everybody's enjoying, like, honestly, at this point in time, everything's going well. Like they're just vibing, they're doing drugs, they're selling their silvers, giving people mercury poisoning. Everything's chill. And then we get this bitch Jason. Now, nobody likes Jason. I don't like Jason. Nobody likes him. They say as soon as he joined, the energy shifts. They said I wrote no one likes Jason at all. He has a damn criminal record. He went to jail for child abuse and neglect. And he's apparent and it's weird because he talks about how when he joins, he becomes attracted. She's in the center of the room, and he gets close to her, and eventually, of course, Mother God is attracted to him too. Um and he says Jason says he made it seem like he was just super helpful from jump, and just because he does handiwork, he was acting like he was keeping this place afloat. The dude's a narcissist. Even when he talks in the documentary, if y'all go and watch it, which I do recommend, it's very interesting. Trigger warning, you will see a dead body. Um but he makes it seem like he was holding this place together, and one of the scenes was like he was high, he was outside raking, and he says apparently him and Mother God had a few passionate nights together, and one day he was raking, he was looking around and everything, and he's like, this is my house, this is my damn house. He just came there and was like, this should all belong to me. He didn't say, oh, this is our house, like him and Mother God's house. So eventually he goes to Mother God, they talk about it, and Mother God reveals that Jason Jack John. I don't remember. Basically, he's Father God, and then John's like, "What the fuck? I'm Father God," and she was like, "Actually, no, you're actually Mother God multiverse." That's so messed up. Cause John is June, like he thought they had a connection. He thought everything was going well, and then this dude comes in, like Jason comes in, and now he's Father God, and he's Father God multiverse. Like that makes no sense. They never explained to us what multiverse is. Like,
Mm-mm.
so like it doesn't make any sense. Cause for me, if I was multiverse, I would still see myself higher. But whatever.
Yeah, I guess
And
is where
then
wherever the Galactus come from is the multiverse.
yeah.
So technically, that would make him higher.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't understand it. So everybody's like, once Jason is officially Father God along with Mother God, the members are like, this dude just started ruining shit and being toxic. Like he would turn their chill music off, The Weeknd, Mariah Carey. He was turning off their nice pop music and turning on metal. He was beating on his chest saying he's Father God, this is his shit. He was drinking 6 raw eggs, and he was just being very toxic and nobody liked him. Mind you, Aaron's kids are still in the house while he's doing all this. And then we get a flashback. We get a flashback back to when Mother God, or now we're going to say Amy. Amy, when she was younger, her mom just explains that she just likes terrible men. There was like every
You
relationship
could
that was
tell.
kind of long. Yeah, her
Mhm.
mom is like every relationship that she's been in that lasts longer, the guy was horrible. And then
Abusive, violent.
Hmm.
yeah, basically, and two of those relationships resulted in her kids. And then her mom was like, every time she met a nice guy, it would never last. She would get bored with them. And basically, Mother God believes that if she loves someone so evil, she could break their curse or whatever. Like it could break a curse, a cycle of him being toxic or whatever.
Interesting.
They should have kicked his ass out.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
apparently after her second kid, she just had just a string of just bad relationships one after the other, which is crazy because then when she got with White Eagle, their relationship was nice and healthy and she still left him. Then Andrew tried to help her and she left him because Michael was the toxic, male at the time that was telling her wrong. So of course you're gonna listen to the toxicity. And then we got John. She just demotes John. Like I don't know what it is about like negative men to her. I don't know if it's like a trauma, but apparently it could be because I think when her mom divorced the dad, I think the dad was like beating her or something. So that
Her
could be it.
her stepmom was beating her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the stepmom did not like that Amy looked like her mom and her mom would beat her and I guess the dad wasn't doing anything, but I still don't know how that kind of correlates to liking bad guys. I don't know.
I don't know.
Hmm.
So then people saying Jason was just horrible. Um apparently she has 3 kids. Like apparently
Three?
there is a third kid,
Oh.
but they never show him on the show. And then they're saying the way she left when she left to go with White Eagle, they were at a dinner, her sister, and her mom, and she just got up, she excused herself from the dinner, went home, and then they came back to the house and she was gone. She was just straight up gone. All her stuff was gone. And then Jason was genuinely like a bad person. He would piss Mother God off and they would get into a huge fight and then she would send him to go sleep in the basement.
Hmm.
Like that's what it was. It was that cycle of them getting into a fight, then quote unquote Robin Williams would come through her and all this stuff. And then apparently like that's how it's supposed to be because like Father God is supposed to represent all the toxicity, which I don't really get. And
Hmm.
apparently everybody was tired of it. So the followers and mom left Jason in California and they went to Oregon. So half of them stayed in California, and mom and the OGs went to Crestone and camped out for like a week or two out there. But the where they went in Crestone, there was a stage 3 drought. This was before they made it to their like official place that we see. So it was a stage 3 drought, and the people was complaining because they were smoking and filling up these people's cafes for like hours on end, and they were getting kicked out.
Which
And
why
then
would they
eventually,
think t- they could do
I don't know,
that?
because it was like 12 of them. It was 12
Yeah.
of them in a cafe. They wouldn't buy nothing because apparently you're not allowed to buy anything for yourself in this cult. Um, and as they're on a road at this hotel or wherever they're staying at the house, that motherfucking Jason went up to them because apparently they was like he could come back once he was good. So apparently he finally stopped doing meth and got his act together apparently. And apparently
Finally.
in one of the notebooks that Hope was keeping, cuz she apparently her role as an angel was a scribe. Um it said Jason chose God over meth or something like that. And while they're chilling in Crestone, Jason proposed to her with no ring, and she says yes. Mind you, why do you even need to propose if you're already father and mother God?
Right.
Facts.
And then while they're there, Jason somehow gets them a house. He
He
got them
stole
a
it.
house in Oregon. I don't know. And then it burned out because that crazy bitch Aaron decided to go burn sage outside during a stage 3 drought, and it caused a brush fire. It caused a brush fire and burnt the entire house down. And then they fled on a boat.
I'm assuming common sense not a part of this cult.
It's the
So
drugs. Don't do drugs, kids.
then they went back to Crestone to join everybody else who split off. So one group went to Crestone, one group with the mother god went to Oregon. And then Miguel was like, I got a house. I found somewhere. He got this cheapest rundown house, and they moved into there, and it's in his name. The people in the town do not want them there because they know the type of crazy shit. Because mind you, they're popping off on YouTube and Facebook right now. They're making money.
Oh yeah, keep in mind all of their money is in Miguel's name.
Yes.
Every
Yeah.
dime they
So
make.
Every
because he's the financial
donation,
advisor.
everything. Yep.
S- So once they got to this house, they started establishing new rules. Um, and they started their starvation period. And this is where we figure out that back in the day, Mother God or Amy, she had anorexia because she wanted to be skinny like her older sister. By the way, she did not look ugly chubby. They showed her pictures of her. I wouldn't even call her
She
chubby.
didn't.
I would call her mid-size. She just had a full round face. She looked like she probably looked like her dad, and she probably didn't like it. Um but everybody had to be on this new diet of like dips and oatmeal on top of the drugs and alcohol. And then at this time as well, Miguel was trying to make more money. He was always selling stuff because um only Mother God was allowed to like buy stuff for herself because she's Mother God. And then during the interview, Jason is asked when did her health start declining because we're moving on to episode 3 now, which is like the finale. Um, Jason admits that it's because of his negative energy that she's absorbing is the start of her downfall. He's like, the reason Amy died was because of him, because he was bringing in all the negative energy and she was like basically purifying.
It
And then
was
eventually,
totally not the colloidal silver they're ingesting.
right. So then we realize Amy uploads a video and it's like she's taking on 800 galactus of negative energy and her health's decline. But at this point, we know it's kidney failure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, how you
So
even measure
basically,
that? I have no clue.
They never explain anything. And so basically from here, what happens is that Amy's going through liver failure. Her health starts
She's turning
declining.
blue.
Mm.
Yeah, so what they say is she's getting ready for her ascension. But the reason that she can't ascend is because she's too heavy. She needs to be 103 pounds to be ascended. But then they're like she's the weight requirement now and she's not ascending. So you know what they do? They go to Hawaii. Apparently now, in order for her, if she doesn't ascend, some big ass hole is going to open up in the ocean and it's going to destroy the earth. And they bring her to Hawaii. And it seems like she's starting to get better in Hawaii, but it's not true. And the reason
Also,
they can
note
keep
that before they went to Hawaii, she had a little moment of clarity where she came to and was like, I'm dying, take me to the hospital. And they
Yes.
said,
Mhm.
no, we're not going to because you wouldn't want us to.
Yeah, and they said they
Right.
wouldn't
They're
step
like
foot in a 3D hospital.
right. So they're like, "Oh, if we go to Hawaii, we'll get better." At this point, her family members have reached out to her. She while she's in Hawaii, um her sister for whatever reason thought that it would be a good idea to put her on Dr. Phil, and that did not help. So her family messaged Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil picked it up, but Dr. Phil makes it worse, as he always
Yeah.
does. And
Because why
because of
would
that,
you
she
think
feels like
that Dr. Phil would help you in any situation? He
because
is not
that's
a
what he marketed
therapist.
himself
He
as.
is not a
But at
therapist. He's strictly there for views and like for his own financial gain, I guess, or views
Hmm.
yeah,
from like people.
but we have to remember at this point, Dr. Phil hadn't been exposed
True.
as not being a actual doctor. So people genuinely thought like he was helping people.
Well, he might
I
have
don't
been.
know
This was
how.
like 2021, 2022, and I think by that part, Bad Baby had already exposed that like he did not
Yeah.
help her. He put her in a camp with a bunch of other girls, and they were basically brutalized there,
Yeah.
and it did not help her at all.
Right.
But people
So
didn't listen.
the sister was basically like because I think this happened in 2018. Um the whole Hawaii situation and the whole Dr. Phil situation. Um the sister thought that maybe her being on Dr. Phil was going to offer to help her and come get her and send her to a facility, rather it be by force. I personally feel like she should have been taken by force because her sister at this time had called when they were in the house with Miguel. She had called a welfare check like twice, and they were like they couldn't do anything because she doesn't want to go anywhere. And she's like, "What do you mean? Do you see how skinny she is? She's not like mentally sound to make these decisions for herself, but they couldn't do anything." So in Hawaii, this the whole Dr. Phil thing. She gets super super depressed, and then Faith, or Hope and Aurora,
Mm-hmm.
get on the live, and it's like Mother God has announced that she is a Hawaiian goddess, basically. And that pisses people off, and they start raiding out her
Rightfully so.
house.
Hmm.
They start throwing her they started throwing rocks through the windows and stuff, and eventually the mayor of Hawaii. Also, what I found funny was most of the people out there was calling them like tourists and white people when they themselves are white people, but I'm not going to talk about that. We're not
Yeah.
going to get into that.
Yeah.
That was just kind of funny to me
At least
because
they
it
were
made
helping though.
Yeah.
yeah. I was like they're helping, so it's whatever. But the mayor comes, gets them out, and to they don't go back to Miguel's house, but they go back to somewhere in Oregon. And no, I think they go back to Miguel's house, but then um she's like she wants to go to Oregon, and everybody's like this is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. We shouldn't go back, like, cuz I think they Miguel's house is in California. So they're like back in
Yeah.
California. Miguel's house is in California, and she's like she wants to go to Oregon.
But didn't along the
And
way
they're
they
like
get
this is
stopped by the police or whatever? Oh wait.
Yeah.
that was after.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Never
Oh
mind.
yeah,
Yeah,
right
yeah.
after.
So,
After.
yes. So they go to Oregon, they get a hotel, and Milano pull a picture up, but there's a picture of what her body now looks like. It's a picture of her in a wheelchair, and this is what her body looks like. She's super frail, super skinny.
Super
She's
blue.
literally blue.
She
Yeah,
can't
she's
walk
literally
anymore,
blue.
so she's being carried and rolled around.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
she's completely
I
paralyzed.
remember in the video, like, I forgot where they're at, like what house or what, if they're at the hotel or whatever. But I remember they showed a video of her back. You can see her spine.
Hmm.
I'm like, damn.
Yeah. So it's only her and Jason at this
Mm,
hotel. I don't think nobody else went. I think it was just them two. And then, but everyone felt like something was wrong. Hope, Faith, and Aurora was like, something's wrong. So Hope is like, she's praying and she's like, should I go to Oregon? And she says, as soon as she finished that thought, she had a notification go off on her phone and she took that as a sign. And her, Faith, and Aurora get into a car and they drive all the way to Oregon. And when they get there, um, Mother God is basically in the end stage of her life. Her body regulation is not well. She feels cold and she's restless. And they
mm,
put her in the hot tub, let her sit in the water, put her in the tub, spray her down with hot water, and then they let her rest in the bed. And they do that for a whole full rotations.
mm.
And they get there and they're trying to help her. They're thinking like, oh, it's because she is needs to move her energies. And what pisses me off is that Hope then says, if Mother God actually wanted to go to the hospital, we would have surrendered to her and brought her to the hospital.
Which, like, an episode before, they said they would never bring her to the hospital.
Right.
Right. So she's like, while a couple days before this, before they go to Oregon, like she calls her sister New Year's Eve, and her sister's like, I miss you, I love you, like please, and talk to me. And her sister's like, well, I'm dying. Mother God's like, oh, I'm dying. And she's like, do you want me to call the hospital? Do I need to call an ambulance? Like, please just come home. We'll take care of you. And she's like, no, I don't want y'all to take care of me because it takes four people to take care of me. Mind you, she could have still went to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, that was the last time because she was like, she didn't know what to say. What do you say to that? Me personally, I would have still called the people because, and even her daughter was like, her mom was texting her wanting to meet up, really wanted to meet them. She wanted, at some point, she wanted her family to go out there and visit her, but they were just like, they couldn't do it. They didn't want to be around those people who were enabling her and help with her quote unquote sickness at the time. In her final like hours, she was taking Xanax, she was taking Ativan, she was taking muscle relaxer,
Got
she was
hitting.
drinking
Yeah.
alcohol still.
That liquid
Um,
stuff.
she was drinking she was drinking full like 750 mils
Mm-hmm.
of colloidal silver like every
Yeah.
couple hours. Like this is everything that she was doing a week of because at this point she's in organ failure. Her organs are failing. That's why her everything's disrupted.
Yeah.
So they say 6 p.m. that same day, she takes her last breath. She's officially dead.
Mm-hmm.
But to them, she doesn't seem dead because she's still warm. Her joints are still flexible.
And they're using some
Like,
tool to, like, measure her magnetic energy or whatever.
which is probably from the silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James said it's probably from the silver. That's why they're getting like a frequency off of her.
And they
Um,
also thought she wasn't dead because she spent the whole time telling them that if I die, the Galactus are going to take my entire body.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, her
yeah,
body's still here, so she's
And
not dead. She's going to come back.
and they feel like the warmth in her body, and they're like, oh no, she's still alive.
they said she was also breathing as well, which I don't think she was.
I think they were just high.
Yeah.
Yeah, mind you, this whole even during the interview, Hope is high as a kite. Like her pupils are blown.
Mm-hmm.
This entire thing, like they're all
Jason
high,
is high and drunk.
Mm-hmm.
smoking cigarettes. Like, so they stayed in there for probably another day or two, and eventually the hotel is like, we need to see this lady. And they're like, fuck. And Jason's like, we gotta go. So they wrap her up in a sleeping bag. Somehow everybody else is there, like Buddha and everybody else is there. I don't know where the fuck they came from, but they went to the woods and they camped out there for like a week. And Jason was like, we need to bring her back to Michael's house. Like, she needs to go back home. So,
And
as they're going back home,
yeah.
I don't know if they talked to Michael or what, but they get a notification that Michael withdrew like more than half of what was in the savings account. That's in his name, by the way. He drained it, and then before they got home, he drained the last $50,000.
Oh, and like
which is like
on their
$300,000 almost.
yeah, and then on their way to Michael's house, I think they get stopped by the police and like they wrapped Amy up in a way to make it look like she's just sleeping, so they don't
Yeah.
be suspicious. So yeah,
Because I don't know if y'all know this, it is against the law. It's against the law to move a corpse
it's
over
tampering with
state
the
Hmm.
dead
lines.
body. Yep, you're gonna
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
to jail.
So eventually they get back, and I think he knew something happened to Mother God, but I don't think they actually told him because they're saying she ascended. So they're thinking he's like, oh, they're coming back, and I'm getting the fuck up on out of here because the person who I've been with since day one is gone. She don't need no money. I'm getting the fuck up on out of here. I would too.
Same.
Because if Mother God's gone, if God's gone, what's she gonna do with this money? I'm
I
getting
think
out of
he
here.
really thought her body was like not on Earth anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like he walked
So
into that room and saw her and was like, "Oh,
What the
that's
yeah,
a
they put her
corpse."
back on the bed. They wrapped her up in blankets and they put lights around her and stuff. So Michael comes back because he's like about to be like, all right, so what we doing now? Like Mother God has ascended, and they show him a whole corpse, and they're like, he freaked out, and I'm like, well, he's been being told for the past 15 years that when she ascends, she's literally ascending.
Yeah.
So he goes to the police, and even in the documentary, you can see he's kind of shaken up and confused because he
yeah.
can't even say it. He's
But
just like,
also
she's there.
keep in mind he hadn't been with these people for a few months. So at this point he's like living a normal life with society and working a job. So he's not as like completely brainwashed as the rest of them.
He's not
So he has
high.
enough sense to call the police. Yeah.
So yeah.
I don't think Michael was ever that deep into it. I think he
Yeah.
just liked the drugs, he liked the business, they was making money, he didn't need to work.
He's the bank
So for
account
him, he was just
basically.
managing because
Yeah.
remember some of them had to stay at the house to do the website and stuff.
Mhm.
So when he hasn't have into any contact with them, and the last time they talked to him, they was like, she's fine. We're getting ready. They're like, the last time he talked to them, they was saying they was gonna go help her ascend, you know? So he never expected them to come back with a corpse. They literally thought she was ascending. So he's like, well, I'm taking my fucking money. Like, and they made a comment and was like, "Oh, what did y'all think we were gonna do? Just go back to living normal 3D lives?" So he freaks out. He's like, they brought her back. She's a corpse." Like he literally could not believe it. And he also isn't included in this documentary as well. He's like he didn't want to talk to nobody. He hasn't talked to anybody from the cult. That man's probably traumatized because he realized he's been high for the past 15 years consecutively and has been making money.
And then a point I made like
So
outside, well, to y'all was basically like, if he didn't go to the police, like Lord knows how long they would have kept her body. So
Yeah.
right, because at this point, because of all of the silver she had been taking, and because she was in complete organ failure, her body was officially mummified.
yeah.
Like the colloidal silver fucked with her skin, so she wasn't going through a natural decomposition. You know, so they all get arrested because they're thinking that everybody thinks that Michael set them up to be arrested, but technically he's like, again, he did not expect for y'all to bring a corpse to his house. And he's like, well, he said he let them use the house, but he didn't think they was gonna stay. Because of course that was never the intention for them to stay. The intention was, you know, bring her, do what she gotta do, and then that's it. So he did not know they was coming back like at all. So eventually they all get set free despite Jason saying that he killed her, but whatever. And because the only reason they got let go was because her death was not ruled a homicide. It was ruled as organ failure from alcoholism and anorexia. I
Mm.
still think they should have gotten charged with something because they allowed it to happen.
Mhm.
But because she
And
appeared to be a cult
yeah,
leader, they couldn't.
and they held her body for so long, so it's like,
Yeah, they didn't get charged with tampering with the corpse or anything.
damn,
Like they didn't get nothing because her death was
white
ruled
people.
from. And apparently the people in the town that they had the house was been trying to get them shut down. They was like the lady needs to go to a hospital. Like they were trying to get her help and get the whole thing shut down because they were like it's weird. So that's the end of it. We
Mm-hmm.
learned that Hope and Aurora run a YouTube channel, and then somebody else runs a YouTube channel as well. Faith, I think, runs a YouTube channel. Yeah, Faith runs one called 5D Full Disclosure, and then Hope and Aurora one like run another one called the Daily Disclosure. And
Mm-hmm.
then some other people run their own websites. So it's like it seems like they're all still in the cult, but they have normal lives now. Like because of all this shit, they're rich. Like they all live in big houses. Like it's not like none of them became homeless afterwards. If they're
Mm-hmm.
homeless, like Jason and John are homeless by choice. They're living full
Yeah.
hippie
Yeah,
lives. All of them have Buddha and Mary, they have a house together. They're roommates. They're just chilling and painting. Some of them, a lot of them split off, but
cause
like
ever,
the main core team, nothing is wrong. They're living in California still
yeah,
or living in Colorado in these big ass
cause
houses.
remember when
Like,
Aurora went back home and she was like driving down her neighborhood, whatever. I'm like, these are nice, very nice houses.
Yeah. Little fancy
yeah,
cul-de-sac.
Facts.
they live like a couple houses down from each other and they get together and do YouTube videos. Like none of them, their families welcomed them back in full arms and they had that support. None of them really lived like horrible lives beforehand. They just had something happen to them and they met this person who basically showed them love where they thought they didn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's insane. I think the only person who actually had like a horrible life beforehand was Erin. But
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
again, I think eventually her kids did get taken away from her for a while. Um, there were some people who left. So we all know White Eagle left. He was left behind because Aaron, Mother God was over him. Andrew left, and then there was another girl named Sarah who was there temporarily. She had a horrible thing happen to her medically. She was in a coma for 20 days. She had a $500,000 in medical debt, which they would never see a fucking penny from me. I could tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Um, but she went there because she thought Mother God was healing her. But once Sarah knew that that girl was dying, when she knew Mother God was dying, she called her mom and told her to get her a hotel and come pick her up. Cause she was like, she will not sit there and condone like watching someone die. She got out of there.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy how, I know this relationship for them was very, very real, but now they have this mindset. They have this cult mindset, but now they're living regular lives, making good money still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's insane. Cause they literally said, "Oh, what do you think we're gonna split off and go live regular lives?" When y'all essentially did just that. They're
yeah.
very hypocritical this whole
Mhm.
series. Any comments y'all want to say? What y'all took from this and stuff?
Like I told you, white people are so gullible.
There were some black people in there too, but I guess they were temporary members.
Yeah, but weren't they
Yeah, they were
there like
there for
at
the
the?
early days though,
Yeah.
just for the drugs and the vibes.
Yeah.
I think once Jason got there, a lot of them did leave.
Mhm.
Cause like,
I would also imagine that like you have to have a lot of money to be doing all the traveling they were doing,
yeah.
and they probably were like, I'm not spending money on going around the world while she's dying. I'm not doing that."
Yeah.
Also, Sarah did say they could not have money of their own.
Yeah.
That's insane. But which is crazy because that guy who's getting those disability checks, that's money of his own. Technically, it's in his name.
No,
But I
Even
think it
though,
went straight to her
Andrew,
though.
yeah,
yeah,
it went
Andrew gave
straight.
all his money straight to him.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know. I don't see how. Even though I
So
watched it, I don't see how people are that gullible to like join stuff like that. I don't know.
I feel like a lot of them said exactly what it was. They either had just went through something like really bad that they could have theoretically gotten out of themselves,
Yeah,
and the other half was just bored.
I don't know. It's
Hmm.
just
Hope was bored. Hope was bored.
yeah.
Hope literally
Yeah.
said she was a suburban girl living a subpar life, and that's it.
All I'm
Yeah, that's why I
hearing
mentioned in the.
is
Oh, go ahead.
white privilege is all I'm hearing, basically.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned in the other cult documentary. They say a lot of people that join are typically like well off white people, and it's because they're bored and they have nothing else to do with their lives but join a cult, and it's easy for them because they have money, and so they have nothing else to worry about if everything falls. They could just go back home to their big houses, to their
Or
checks.
they're very susceptible to like Andrew. The only reason Andrew joined was because he was in a very weird time of his life. He was like our age.
Hmm.
Like he was not old at all. He just got really into conspiracy theories. And she was like the main one at that time doing all that stuff. Like I feel like unless you're a very headstrong person, all it could take is just finding the wrong person at the right time.
I
Yeah.
Like
guess.
and that stuff sticks with you. Like I watched the Heaven's Gate
Mhm.
documentary, and that one was crazy because so many people left that cult, but it stuck with them for so long, for so many years afterwards. Mind you, the Heaven's Gate, like suicides, that was a build up from over 20 years
Hmm.
of these people being in this cult. And even the people who left early on or halfway through or at the end, one girl was like her father was an OG member. And after 21 years, when he figured out they committed suicide, and other former members, like, what if they're right? What if they're right? They all still ended up killing themselves,
Mhm.
even though they were in the cult for years. And they was like and it's bad because because of psychology and because of what was going on in psychology at the time, there was no therapist to help them. There was nobody
Hmm.
saying this
Mhm.
is what how you need to do to like go back into to society. And a lot of them didn't even realize a lot of the Heaven's Gate thing is crazy, but I'm saying this to say like even though all of those people are back in society, they still have the mind frame of when they were in this cult. Like these people were in this cult for 15 years almost. And it's like
Mhm.
even though they're living regular lives now when they don't have a bad life, they were in that. They were high for 15 years straight. Like that's insane.
Mhm.
Like how do you really mentally come back from that and live in society? Like even the girl when she was going back home to her mini mansion, she was just like, look at all this 3D illusions. Like she's living a regular life. She's driving a car, going
Hmm.
to the doctor.
Talking
But to
to a
her,
camera crew.
right,
Right.
because she was in the cult for so long, she can only think of things like how she had been thinking for years. And it's like, do they get these people help? Do they ask them if they want to see a therapist? Because there's therapists for this type of stuff now,
Mhm.
for getting out of cults. You know, how do you helping them go back into society and basically thinking normally? And that amount of shrooms and alcohol and whatever the hell else they were doing, like that has an effect on your brain. So it's just like it's insane.
Yeah.
Erin, I don't know if I say this. Erin did get her kids taken away, but she got them back. So she's living with them now again.
Mhm.
And Hope ended up reconnecting with her mom as well.
Mhm. I remember at the end
I
of the
think the only person
video, at the end of the episode, well, series, they showed her calling her mom, and then she was like, "Oh yeah, something about her mom ascended or whatever." And then she corrected herself and said her other mom or her mom 2.0.
Yeah.
yeah.
I was like, it kind of. I feel bad for her actual mother to like. because she left her good life just to call this strange woman mom.
Which
Yeah,
is
I can't
crazy
imagine
because
you're like raising a kid and you do one thing that like minorly inconveniences them and they lose their mind and join a cult
Yeah,
well,
and
the
you're like,
thing is with
what?
just to call this other woman
Hope's
mom.
mom,
Yeah.
Hope's mom, her name was Debbie. She actually was the one who called the FBI about the cult. And she was
Good.
like,
I would too.
she was like, because at first she accidentally created a Facebook group called Exposing Love Has Won. Because
Mm,
she was just like, does anybody know anything about this cult? And apparently a lot of people's kids and stuff had joined it or left it and stuff. Hope's mom was the only one who was consistently trying to save her daughter.
right.
And
Mm-hmm.
the only reason Hope stopped liking her mom was because her mom was trying to get her back. That's it.
Yeah.
She had stopped talking to her mom for 10 years in this cult. She was in the cult for 10 years, and that's how long she stopped talking to her mom. And she knew her mom was watching the live streams and everything. Her mom was like, I was consistently watching those live streams for 10 years, trying to get my daughter back. My mom would have shot the place up.
Yeah.
No facts.
Yeah.
I would have bust in there and been like, "Get your ass.
My
We're
mom
not
would
doing
have
this."
grabbed me out of there.
Like, my parents probably wouldn't even let me cross the state line. Like,
Yeah.
I would have never left. They would have admitted me into a psych ward as soon as I said I was about to go join a cult.
Mhm.
Facts. And they would drag my
Um,
ass to church. But don't drink the Kool-Aid, y'all.
yeah, please do not drink colloidal silver. It will give you
I
mercury
said
poisoning.
Kool-Aid, but that
And it
too.
will turn you blue.
Yes. Don't drink colloidal silver. Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
And please do
None of
not
that.
go join this cult
Or a cult in
or any
general.
other cult. And do not go find these people. Like, if y'all are gonna go look up their stuff and watch their YouTube videos and stuff like that, that's fine. Do not go send hate.
Mm,
We'll
Because they
see
will
y'all
just
in the
send
next
Robin
one.
Williams to attack you, probably. I don't know.
Please
Whatever they
don't.
do.
or Tupac.
Oh no.
Or Trump.
Oh
He's
Lord.
already doing that.
Yeah.
Or Whitney Houston or Aretha Franklin
Or
or
Michael
Betty White.
Jackson.
Mind you, they had Betty White on there and she was not dead at that time.
Right.
Yeah. They killed her. Oh my god. Hopefully Trump is next.
Please.
Facts.
Well,
Anyway.
we will see y'all later. I don't know what we're going to talk about next time, but I think this was very interesting. So,
Hmm.
yeah,
Hopefully we get
Yeah.
a more consistent schedule.
maybe next time we'll invite somebody to talk with us.
If we remember to.
If
Yes.
we remember.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye.